Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for Draftkings Week 1 slate we got going on right now. If you're tuning in, the Dallas and Tampa Bay game is going on right now. I'm going to give you my hot takes for Draftkings Week 1. I told you guys that Cowboy stack will work, and I told you I had Cooper in my captain spot. I told you to play Dak. That is going well. Make sure you paired him with Tom Brady. So the advice I gave was some very good advice. But before we get into Week 1 DraftKings slate, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's keep pushing it. We are at 437 currently, and we want to get to 450 to 500 to 1,000 to the moon. All right? All those numbers and above. Now let's dive into this slate, starting off with the QB position. The key to DraftKings is you have to stack, all right? You have to find the premium game environments where you can have one side correlated with your quarterback, wide receiver, and or tight end, and then bring it back with another wide receiver from the other side or a tight end from that other side of the game. Because if you think it's going to be high scoring, that means there needs to be a back and forth, and that means your team can continually have points. All right, that is the idea. So we're going through this. Obviously, we're looking at Patrick Mahomes. We like him at 8,100, but that is a tougher defense. We already like him. I don't need to expand on, you know how Patrick Mahomes is going to be owned? Okay, we get it. He is a play. So another game I think that you need to really, key in on is going to be this Arizona and Tennessee game. So I want QBs like Kyler Murray, and I want QBs like Ryan Tannehill. Just going in on Kyler Murray. If I want to have the Arizona Cardinal side, we understand that Tennessee struggles defensively, especially in that secondary. They did improve their secondary with their rookie and some free agents, but we don't know. We don't know yet, and since we don't know, we're gonna have to take the shot. And we understand this air raid Arizona offense. They love to throw. Kyler Murray is a dual threat. He can pass the ball and he can provide points in the rushing categories as well. So we're looking at Kyler Murray. I love him as a QB selection. If I want to go to one of his favorite options, we're going to go with DeAndre Hopkins, obviously at 7,800. That is his lead elite wide receiver. I don't care what corner it is. Hopkins will come down with the ball. Another option for the wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, I like Kirk over AJ Green if you had to choose. I don't think that they should give up on him. Obviously, AJ Green is a veteran, is a known name and commodity, but what I saw from him last year, it was not impressive, and I think he is washed up. Kirk should win that wide receiver 3 role eventually, but a very nice sleeper that I'm looking at is their rookie Rondale Moore, who's starting in that slot role with Larry Fitzgerald gone. So Kirk and Green are fighting for that wide receiver 3 spot, that outside spot. Rondale Moore is secured in that slot role. You saw him in preseason. He was very active. They used him obviously in multiple ways in the slot, getting receptions, and they used him running the ball as well. So 5 targets, 3 for 5, 15 yards. So PPR monster right there, and then rushed once for 9 yards and even returned the kickoff. So they're using him in a multiple of facets. He is a very dangerous wide receiver. I love that combination right there. They don't really have a tight end, so I'm not going to force that in. And if I want to bring it back in this game between Arizona and Tennessee, which I think is going to be huge fireworks, give me, obviously, between Julio Jones, who's at 6,800. You're probably going to have to choose between one or the other, make a lineup with Julio Jones in it, Or you can make a lineup with A.J. Brown, who is back and healthy at 7,100 if you want to pay up just a little bit more. You could make this a whole game stack. You can throw in some cheap running backs, which are available, and still make this work. Get you a cheap defense and a cheap tight end. Then you can kind of pay up for your running backs around that 5K range, okay? So you can definitely make this work. There are avenues. If I'm looking for a cheap running back, a guy I would look for is Ty Johnson at 4,400. You might want to plug him in and then see where you go from there. Okay, you can find salary in a multiple of areas. So if you wanted just to flip it, you would take out Kyler Murray. Obviously, if you wanted to have some more salary in the stack, you could take out Kyler Murray, go to Tannehill, who's just as good. Ever since he left Adam Gase's offense, he has averaged over 21 not DK, but just over 21 fantasy points per game. So this man has been a model of consistency. As you can see, very strong ending to last season. Very consistent, 26, 30, 33, 22, 31. 37, 28, all those prime performances from Ryan Tannehill. Now you get the acquisition of Julio Jones. The question mark was his wide receivers. He gets more help, and maybe they lean away just a little bit from Derrick Henry and become more of a passing offense. And then you get to save some salary here. You save almost $1,200 going from Murray to Ryan Tannehill. He still has the rushing upside because he had 7 rushing touchdowns last season. And then you can pay up in some other spots at the running back and a tight end, okay? That's another idea. Let's go to our next game stack that I really am looking forward to, and that's going to be the Philadelphia and Atlanta Falcons game right there. In this side, I really want to stay more on the Philly side with the quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He has more upside at the quarterback position. I'm not really looking at Matt Ryan. But Jalen Hurts is a DraftKings stud that you want to play at the quarterback position. And he did this in a short amount of time. And already he was going late in drafts. And now pretty much he might be forgotten about in DraftKings as well. But the upside is there. He has the passing ability. He has the weapons now. Jalen Reagor has stepped up. Devonta Smith was their first round pick. Miles Sanders is still there in the backfield, and Kenneth Gainwell, the rookie who's looking like a very young LaShawn McCoy, could factor in as well in this passing game. But Jalen Hurts, the key to him is his rushing upside. 8 of 34 with 2 TDs against Washington, 69 rushing yards against Dallas, 63 rushing yards and a touchdown against Arizona. And then that New Orleans game would really put a stamp on it. 106 rushing yards against a very good defense. All right, he can do it in a multiple ways. So we're going to get those points with Jalen Hurts. We can go to Devonta Smith, who's a rookie and is currently very cheap at 4,500. This is one of these cheap stacks where you can pay up for a Tyreek Hill, pay up for a Christian McCaffrey, and really make the best out of your lineups. So Devonta Smith, we like Reagor, who I said before. Don't be shy to go 3 deep because the salary you're saving, you already got 2 wide receivers, but you basically only spent 8K, which is 1 elite wide receiver. And then you know how the Eagles love to use their tight ends. Dallas Goedert is still there at the tight end position. You can go with him as well. All right. Don't forget, if you want to bring it back, this is a stack, and this could be a very high scoring affair between the Philadelphia Eagles and Atlanta Falcons. And I want Kyle Pitts. He's not just a tight end. He's one of their wide receivers as well. Okay, they're going to use him in a myriad of ways. All right, so you have 2 options right there. You went double tight end technically. You got 2 wide receivers, Smith and Reagor. You still can pay up for Ridley at 7,900, and you have plenty of salary to get you 2 elite running backs in this type of game stack. So I'm really liking this Philly Atlanta game, sticking with the Jalen Hurts and mixing and matching with some wide receivers. You don't have to go as heavy as I did, but you can pick and choose But make sure you have your quarterback paired with the wide receiver of your choice, and bring him back with your favorite or two favorite pass catchers from the other side of the ball. If you think this is going to be a big offensive game, all right, you got to be clear on that. Another game I want to look at, and it's mainly these early 1 o'clock games. There's a lot of juiciness in these environments. The next game I want to look at is going to be this Seattle and Indianapolis Colts game. I'm sticking more to the Russell Wilson side with the acquisition of their new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, who is from the tree of McVay. They are going to throw the ball. They're going to let Russ cook. And if that is going to happen, I'm going to be all in on Russell Wilson. I understand Indianapolis Colts have a solid front seven, solid defense as a whole. But if they're going to throw the ball more, then I got to take a chance. I got to think this could be a very high scoring affair in Indianapolis in a controlled environment in the dome. So Russell Wilson, I'm pairing him with DK Metcalf, and I'm pairing him with Tyler Lockett. Give me both, man. Give me both. Very dangerous wide receivers. As you can see, Metcalf finished with over 1,300 yards, 12 TDs last season, and Tyler Lockett was he was not hit or miss. Okay, he finished the year great. If you're looking at his stats, it was just he was inconsistent, but that could definitely change from year to year. Okay, that's not a bankable guarantee. He's still an elite top 15 wide receiver, and you saw what he was able to do. One of Russell Wilson's favorite targets was Tyler Lockett. That's why he has 102 receptions. That's why he has 10 touchdowns and almost 1,100 yards. So we can go with that stack there. This is one of the more expensive stacks, and if you want to bring it back, the good thing about this is that the Indianapolis Colts wide receivers are very cheap. We have Michael Pittman. We can bring him back with 4,100, and you still have an opportunity to pay up at some other spots. If you do not like Michael Pittman, another option for the Indianapolis Colts will be Paris Campbell. This man is basically Curtis Samuel Jr., and if he stays healthy, he is going to be a dynamic factor in this offense. I know people like Zach Pascal, but Paris Campbell has that one hit ability. He'll take the ball from the back of the line and take it all the way to the house. Paris Campbell at 3,700. There's a lot of options and a lot of ways you can really get to first place. It's going to be really unique to see what finishes first place for week one, because I'm pretty sure with how these offenses are running and throwing the ball now, that you can have a lot of more opportunities with that flex spot with a real cheap guy that can definitely hit a home run. So that this stack right here, I want to stick to Seattle side. I don't know if you want to trust Carson Wentz. That's going to be more riskier, but I definitely want to stick with Wilson, pair him with Metcalf and or Lockett, and bring it back with a Pittman and or Paris Campbell. Okay, so that was our was that third stack I think we got right now. The next stack, and this one is super sneaky with two value quarterbacks. You choose which side you want. You could choose the young rookie and who's been setting the blaze the preseason, or you can choose someone that has the potential but has not put it all together yet, and that is going to be in this New York Jets and Carolina Panthers game. Not just because I'm a Jets fan, it's just because these defenses suck, pretty much. Okay, we have the Jets defense. Obviously, the corners are unknown. The very young corners, all fifth round picks and higher. So that is a plus for the Carolina. And then on the other side, the plus for the Jets is their line and the creativity from Zach Wilson, the Shanahan offense that they're running. It looks everything looks better for the Jets on that side with Corey Davis and Elijah Moore and Keelan Cole and the running back by committee. There's so many positives to talk about. This could be a very intriguing game. So, for the sake of it, we're going to go Darnold. No, we're not. We're going to go Wilson. Let's be serious. We're going to go Zach Wilson at 5K, nice and cheap, and then you can pay up at other spots, okay? You could do this game stack and fit in McCaffrey. Obviously, you could do this game stack and fit in McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook if you want to. All right, it's if you You can get creative with this. So you go with Zach Wilson, then you go with Corey Davis, who's been a preseason darling and pretty much Zach Wilson's number one target, especially with the injury to Elijah Moore. But Elijah Moore is back in the starting lineup now. So you could pair him with Zach Wilson. You can throw in Elijah Moore as well, and you can get more crazy. So you have Elijah Moore, you got DJ Moore, you got so many Moores. You got two Moores, you got a Davis, and you got a nice game stack in what could be a very high scoring game, a prove it game for Darnold, and a big coming out party for Zach Wilson. So you have options here. This is just a small sample size. If you wanted to flip it, you go Darnold, you go DJ Moore, you go Robbie Anderson. If you really love Terrace Marshall, you can go there as well. But the options are endless. I spoke about Ty Johnson if you needed a cheap running back, and this is because Tevin Coleman obviously is in the depth chart as the number one running back. They're going to spell him with Ty Johnson. You've seen it last year how he came on strong, and you've seen in the preseason he was working with the ones in the first unit. Change your pace back with 4.4 speed. Great receiving back. He obviously won the job over Michael Carter, who's a rookie. They're not going to trust him. They're going to trust someone that has a little more of NFL ability and more of pass protecting as well. So him and Tevin Coleman will share. They'll be 1A and 1B, and that's why I think this is a very sneaky play in Ty Johnson. Obviously, we love Christian McCaffrey, so we put him in there as well. And if you just go with this stack right here, you have $5,700. You can spend up at flex, go cheap at defense, and get you a solid tight end. So the options are endless there as well. So I love that game. So look at these stacks in week one. I told you about Arizona, Tennessee. I told you about the Jets in Carolina. I told you about Philly, Atlanta. Another, last but not least, I'll do one more stack for you guys. And this one might be a little bit tougher. Just looking at it, these are more defensive games later. Pittsburgh, Buffalo could be low scoring. Those are two solid defenses. You got the Chargers against Washington. I don't think that's a stackable type of game right there. Cleveland and KC might be the next option. It'll be between them and Green Bay and New Orleans. Those are the last two games I would consider as stackable. Okay. And we're going to go with this Green Bay and New Orleans game. So we have some fun here. Okay. Now, in this one, it's your choice. Obviously, most people will go Aaron Rodgers at 6,800. New Orleans is a tougher defense, but the upside of Aaron Rodgers is there because he is an elite talent. So we'll go with Aaron Rodgers. You can fit him with Alvin Kamara in here. I love Aaron Jones with the departure of Jamal Williams. Now Aaron Jones is pretty much a three down back. He'll play some third downs and receive that ball as well. And you want to pair him with Devontae Adams. All right, this is a very expensive stack, and then you're gonna have to get creative after that. You might have to sit one of to be very creative. You might have to bench Kamara and go with Marquez Callaway just to save salary if you want to get creative. Okay, if you really want this to work, it can. It really can. So technically, how cheap Callaway is, you could still fit in Kamara and then still make it work. You have to punt tight end and punt defense, but the options are there. So if you wanted to touch that game, but you can always take pieces. So if I focus on the main stacks, like I said before, Arizona, Tennessee, the Jets in Carolina, Seattle, Indiana, and Philly, Atlanta. Then we can pick off some pieces in some other games. Obviously, we like Chenault in Jacksonville. Okay, I think that's a great start. We like George Kittle. Obviously, let's leave some one-off options. Okay, so Kittle in a great matchup against Detroit. You want all the San Francisco 49ers. All right. So one-off options there would be a Raheem Mostert and or Trey Sermon. So that one's the flip of the coin where you have to decide which running back that you want. Okay. It could be Mostert starting out, and then Sermon comes in, and they both could eat. Or it could be a game where Jimmy Garoppolo throws a lot of touchdowns. They get a big, and in cleanup duty, Trey Sermon finishes the game. Okay, so it's very difficult with that, but it's a very high chance that they're going to go off. All right, so you want those type of guys. You want a Trey Sermon, you want a Kittle, you want a Mostert, you want a Brandon Ayuk. All right. If we're going on to the next games, some other one-off options is going to be if is going to be Gabriel Davis. I think he's a cheap wide receiver you guys can go for at 3,400. Just looking at the defenses, going to focus on Stephon Diggs. Emmanuel Sanders is currently questionable, but Gabriel Davis was the number 2 option in the red zone, finishing with 9 touchdowns in the red zone, right behind Stephon Diggs. So if Stephon Diggs is bottled up by that very good secondary, then Josh Allen, who the Buffalo Bills are a throwing team, he's going to have to lean on somebody, okay? And let me see, do we have anyone else? We got a tough matchup with Washington and the Chargers. I might want to stay away from that, from Terry McLaurin and Logan Thomas, things like that. But last but not least, let's see. Do I have another sneaky guy? My last sneaky guy would be between Miles Gaskins and Damian Harris. Okay. So this game is very intriguing between Miami and New England. And if you're looking for a cheap running back or just mid price running back, Miles Gaskins can be that guy, can be that nice option. If we're just looking at the DVOA of rushing defense, New England down here, let's see, I got to highlight it right there. New England was 32nd in the league in rushing defense. So we got Miles Gaskins to bring him in that game. Or if you need a late running back, you can definitely go to him. And then I spoke about Damian Harris, and the reason why I like Damian Harris is because he is the elite number 1 option for the New England Patriots. Obviously, they have James White, but with the departure of Cam Newton, those red zone touches where it was Cam Newton rushing the ball in, it goes to Damian Harris, and he has that opportunity to get double-digit touchdowns this season and a lot of carries. All right, so those are some late 4 o'clock games options to have. All right, let me know how you feel in that comment section down below. Do you agree with the stacks that I put forth? If not, leave a message down below. If you give me another idea, maybe I think maybe you have another guy that might go off, but I really think you guys should focus in on those games: Philly, Atlanta, Indianapolis, and Seattle, the Jets, and the Carolina, and definitely have some San Francisco 49ers going against one of the worst teams in the league against Detroit. But make sure your lineups correlate. That is the key, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with another video very soon, and peace out.